Welcome to Skol Chat with Skol, episode 14. We are a chat group created by four guys who are a blended family, not only through traditional familial means, but also for the love of the game, specifically for our favorite team, Minnesota Vikings. We won't claim to be professionals, or we cover a lot of stats unless it is specific to the topics we'll be discussing. We are just four fans that get together to basically discuss all aspects of the team, from games, training, leases, signings, and the overall organization itself. Our name is derived from two of us who reside within Minnesota and two who reside deep within Packer territory. This is not our livelihoods, as we, like many of you, have busy lives, and what we hope to obtain are additions to our blended family by having you become a part of it. We have room to add a couple of you at a time during our airings and would like you to join us in our chats. As with any family, there will be happy times and sad times to be discussed and experienced. Although the game may only last a season, the desire for the game and team is year long. If you want to join us, please hit the subscribe button, follow us on YouTube, and give us either a thumbs up or thumbs down, depending on your experience, and leave us a comment. If you'd like to join us during the show, contact us at the email link provided below.
All right, and so week number 4 of the season didn't go like we wanted to go. It started out terrible, and it ended up closer than we initially thought it would be. So they lost to the Steelers 24-21. And again, it was closer at the end.
Must have been something there in Guinness.
Who was saying that they did a little more sightseeing than practicing?
I did.
Maybe that was it.
It could have been. No, they weren't scared, Dano.
Rogers was saying this was his way to get us back for us not.
And after seeing JJ and after seeing Wentz and then seeing how he was playing, I wish they would have. Go back to the bringing in the Favre days. Oh, no, you're going to shake your head.
Then again, Wentz had us good times.
Well, we'll go into it more. Overall, there was too many mistakes. There was too many penalties. And every time something seemed to go in our direction, something would happen. They'd either have a holding, which would put them back, or towards the end of the game, an intentional grounding, which killed 10 seconds and a loss of down.
Yeah.
Then also the time clock didn't work.
Yeah, in the north end of the end zone. But, I mean, he was playing like the whole third quarter. Well, was it in the fourth quarter? But it was at the end of the fourth quarters when, like, it was an issue, wasn't it? He had that delay of game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they were playing the whole fourth quarter there.
Yeah.
But
there was multiple times that it was delay of game, false start.
Are just missing a receiver. I mean, we can talk about, like, so overall offensive thoughts. What did you think about the offense overall throughout the whole game?
Well, it surely didn't help when O'Neal went out when they their first drive during the field goal kick. That's when O'Neal went out. And then wasn't it sometime in the second quarter, Ryan Kelly went out with concussion. So, yeah. And you go back and talk about Rodgers, the way the O-line was playing, I don't think Rodgers would stand a chance either, so.
Well, so I think to begin with, the game plan was to get the ball out quick. Justin Jefferson, I mean, did he have like 8 catches in the first half?
Something like that.
Something like that. He had, yeah. So, I mean, they were feeding them the ball early. They're trying to get the ball out early. They had a couple of wide receiver screens in the mix. They were running the ball pretty well. I mean, that first drive, they drove right down the field. And then, I don't know if it was a sack. I can't remember if it was a sack or a penalty. But then all of a sudden, they're way back, pushed back. So they have to, instead of going for a touchdown, they have to kick that field goal. So
yeah, some of that was, I couldn't believe it. But, then again, that's how they won the week prior and coming into this game. And also being, overseas, which also, was for a good cause. I don't know how many people realize, why we played, where we played against the Steelers, from the owner for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He always wanted to have, host a game there at the field there.
He stepped down and then he was ambassador there in Ireland. Back when I can't even remember. Then he started a foundation there. So then
I meant to look into it a little more, Daniel, myself. So everybody playing there, definitely for good cause. I
Well,
mean,
no, and it's good to
granted-
expand the game into different locations. Like they played in Brazil, though. They played in London pretty much every year. It seems like. Well, no, they have. I'm not sure for how long or how many years in a row they've done that, but yeah, now they have a game in Ireland and, like I said, Brazil. I think they played in Mexico in the past. So it's
Yeah,
good to
no,
expand it to different locations. But I think with the mix of an injured offensive line, I think what we see a lot is the quarterback, regardless of who it is, JJ McCarthy or Carson Wentz, they just seem to hold the ball. I mean, it reminds me back when Sam Bradford played, not in 2017 when he got hurt, but in 2016. Like to start the season, they opened up 5-0, right? And they had
Yeah.
a terrible offensive line that year, but he had he led the league in completion percentage, but because it was all just dink and dunks. And they won a few games to begin with, but then the wheels all fell off and people figured out how to attack it, had attacked the team with, since they didn't have a good offensive line. And so
yeah, I definitely think, I don't know if it's coaching or what, but definitely holding on to the ball longer than you need to. When you need to, get rid of it, get rid of it. I mean, you already know whether you can or not. So I don't know if he was kind of playing both sides, like, I think I can make this work. I see what may or may not happen, but he definitely getting sacked. It's like, you got to get rid of that, man, or you're going to lose so many yards.
well, and
There were a lot of pressure on.
there was one or two
O-line,
times where
though.
like you had the dump off to the
Yeah,
what's that?
he pitched the ball off. Wentz did pretty good. There was, I think, more than a few different occasions where he did get rid of the ball. And granted, we still lost yards, but it was still better than losing it where he was at, in the pocket.
Yeah, well, there was.
There were a couple of times where he passed up the dump off to Jordan Mason trying to go down the
True.
field.
Yeah. Well, what I was gonna say, there was.
And that was his
Nice.
MO back when he was with the wait on you, Dad. What were you saying?
Well, what I was gonna say, there was a few times where the pressure from the Steelers defense was crashing through the O-line just like that, So that's where some of the sacks came in. How many times was he sacked? 6 or 9 times or something like that? Wentz?
Yeah, and it's one of those things, and we kind of go back to it. Be nice to have the film where we can see all 22 and see if it's him holding onto the ball or if there was everybody covered and he was not just not throwing the ball away when he had, when he could have or should have. I mean, there's a lot of factors in it, but I know the line is really holding them back.
Yeah.
And it's going to be the offensive line is going to be the make it or break it for the team this season, from what I see.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so hopefully they could pick it up after this week and we can get it back together. I mean, all in all, lost by 3, not terrible. Obviously, they learned, what you can get away with, what you can't get away with. Hopefully, they can move forward, and hopefully next week's better.
Yeah. Well, get on the defense side.
Yeah, so
Gave up.
I think over
The run game.
Well, so I think what
game.
we saw overall, and that's part of it. Overall, though, what we saw was what they struggle with. And we talked about it like right to begin with before even our first podcast or 2 or 3, where the defense struggles with quarterbacks that get the ball out early because they can't get the pressure in time. And then again, I mean, to compound that, then they're getting run. I mean, like the Falcons ran the ball all over them. That same thing happened against the Steelers. They just ran the ball. They didn't give up on the run, where the Vikings kind of seemed to give up on the run, even when they were in the game. Back in the game, they stopped running the ball altogether. So we saw that defensive. The tackling was terrible on DK Metcalf's long, 80-yard reception. That was like a 5-yard slant.
Well, here's another thing too. Roger got the ball out in 2.1 seconds. The last time he did that was like back in 2016 or something like that. Dumped the ball, so.
Yeah. Sorry, Daniel, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, Rodgers was getting rid of the ball pretty quick, and I think they had that all set up, just like the Rams did, Dumped the ball off 5 yards out it's always in the middle of the field, and linebackers, unless Cashman is out there, it seemed like always had trouble in the middle. I don't know why in Flores, these defense, it seemed like the middle of the field is not covered very well.
No, I think it just falls down to experience. I mean, granted, we do have some veterans on the field, but and again, they, I don't know. I could see that definitely. There's no way that they couldn't tell the difference between them going to run the ball, and pass the ball, but the change up on the offense side, and so we didn't block them when it was a run, even though you could see it was a run, and then we just fell short on coverage when it was going to be a throw. That was on multiple occasions. You could, even when they did a change up on the play, you could see that was what was going down, but how they didn't interpret it, I'm not quite understanding that point. But maybe it's just me. I don't know. You could see it, you know.
Well, I think they might be missing, like you said, Cashman they might miss him a little bit more for adjustments. I know something like I think, or it might even be lower than that. So he's not out there correcting people like on the back end either.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they're struggling, and I think one of the people that struggled the most is Ivan Pace. He was out of position on that DK Metcalf catch. He was covering the hook flat instead of covering the middle of the middle of the field. Which if he were in the right position, he would have been able to tackle DK. But he played the hook flat. There was a DB already there playing that flat.
Yeah, we don't do doing one job.
Well, and it's because they came out and they were running a man defense, or looked like a man defense, or at least some point man, but they motioned a guy, I think, from the right to the left. So that guy had to go. The guy that would have had the flat or had the middle had to go to the other side of the field. And then Ivan Pace just didn't know what he was supposed to do there. And he's been struggling with, filling the gaps in the run. He gets out of position, or he'll shoot a gap and it's the wrong side. I noticed that with Eric Wilson too. He shot the gap and he shot it way outside when it was an inside run.
Yep. Well, that's another thing. I think that, they stopped some of the runs right at the line of scrimmage, but like you said, if they cut into the outside gap, they run right through the middle. And I don't know, then it didn't help with Van Ginkel not being in there either, so.
Yeah, so we did talk about like the line, like offensive line injuries and like how they're performing, and we can kind of talk about it. Well, let's just go on to it now, unless you have any more thoughts on the defense.
No, I think we pretty much covered it on defense. Said what we needed to
Yeah,
say
so it's
on
the
that.
offensive line and then the injuries. They're just killing the team. Last year, I think we were one of the healthiest teams in the league, and this year, like, we haven't had the full team on the field for a single play, either defense or offense.
Yeah, and for the money we spend, I guess you can't say that's the problem. I mean, I think we need to be a little more cautious on what we're going to pay individuals until they can, prove they're ready for the task.
Well, and so is Van Ginkel's injury? So Van Ginkel missed the game. Was his injury from last year, or was it from playing with the Dolphins? Because he played pretty much every game last year. But I would
thought it was
imagine it
last
was from last year.
I don't know, and the impression I get, he must have ended up with the injury during training camp, because he was out in training camp too.
And so I was just trying to figure out if what he was struggled with with the Dolphins, because maybe he re-aggravated whatever injury he had with the Dolphin, and he just kind of played through it. I don't know.
Well, I
but
thought that was his foot.
missing him was been. You're right. I think it was his foot with the Dolphins.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Oh.
a scary injury. Necks are scary.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, that's a main part of the body you're putting a lot of pressure on. I mean, you're literally on your toes.
But it's his neck.
Oh, I thought it was also foot.
He's out
Yeah.
for a neck.
that's what he's on the injury report.
And that's
for,
scary. That's what
Hunter.
missed 2 years, I think, pretty much,
Yeah.
with a neck injury before he went from the Colts to the Broncos after he had surgery. So
Yep.
injury line, the rookie left guard was already hurt. He's not coming back until at least after the bye for sure.
Yeah.
Ryan Kelly's dealing with his concussions. We got Blake Cashman already out. We got Harrison Smith dealing with his personal health concern or issue. I don't think the other safety is playing as well as Bynum played last year. I think other than the week against, the game against the Bengals, the corners have struggled
Yeah.
in coverage.
No, they have.
I'm just trying to think of any other injury. I mean, there's a ton of injuries
Yeah.
that we've experienced, and it's concerning.
Well,
Mm.
what's kind of I'm concerned about is Ryan Kelly with his concussions.
Yeah. Yep. We thought we couldn't even find a diamond
That
in
goes
the
to show.
rough.
Well, I think pretty much every person we signed as a free agent had some injury concern or missed games last year,
But they would have been done by now.
which kind of maybe saved a few dollars. But I mean, I don't know if you're looking a little into analytics, like you can't. I don't know. It's gonna be a mix of both. I guess we're hoping that both the center and the guard we signed in the offseason would both be healthy for the whole season, and that's just not the case.
No, definitely not.
Thing is our other center, Jurgens, is on the injury report right now too. And he didn't practice. So I don't know what they're gonna do.
Yeah, and I thought he played pretty well overall. Just doesn't have the
Well,
experience that
right.
Kelly has.
I don't know. I was watching O'Connell with Paul Allen on X and O's, and they were talking about flying some player in from the States to try out. So I couldn't catch the name and whatever. I don't know. Did they say anything on the Vikings?
They did sign a tackle.
Is that who that might have been who they brought over?
Well, they signed a tackle that played for the Cowboys, but they signed him to the practice squad.
He's a Minnesota native.
Yes, I didn't catch the name.
Let's see here. I had it earlier. Matt Waletzko.
Does he say where he went to school?
Native. He was a 5th round pick prior by Dallas in 2022. It's from Cold Spring and played high school football at Ricori.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's set to replace Skol at some point, or is that just to have some depth since O'Neill's hurt?
Yeah, who knows? It's off the spot for him.
I mean, you got to have some talent to be able to swing from left tackle to right tackle. You did see though that like they didn't really trust him at left tackle because when Darrisaw was out, they had Brandel playing tackle. Well, we can kind of just, since we're talking about injuries, might as well just go over the injury report for this week coming up here. The first injury report of the week, so some of it may change. But these are the people that did not practice. Darrisaw, Donovan Jackson, Michael Jurgens, Ryan Kelly, of course, JJ McCarthy, of course, Brian O'Neill, because he has a sprained MCL, Andrew Van Ginkel, and Ben Yurasek. Full participant were Tyler Batty and CJ Ham, and they were both on the IR to begin the season. And then Xavier Scott had a knee issue, but he was full participant. So this is going to change, over the next couple of days. I think Christian Darrisaw just got a rest day. Yep, that's what it says, not injury related, just a rest day. And hopefully Jurgens will be able to play, but we'll have to kind of, whether or not the line's going to be even worse. But I'll keep my fingers crossed that he's not out.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Tyler Batty is there immediately.
It's like that. Well, let's go 6'8", weighing 305. Big man.
That's a big boy.
Yeah.
Bigger than me.
It's almost a foot taller than I am.
Yeah, give or take a couple pounds. We'll let you slide this time, Dano. Where'd he go? The wind just blew. Where'd Dano go?
Don't look. I'll be
Are you playing Sudoku? What are you doing?
Huh?
Don't forget, he dropped that big in high school.
But yeah, he hasn't played since.
One and only year.
I always wondered how they made professional water boys. Then they got Dano.
They didn't want me for a water boy because I didn't necessarily have water all the time.
They just didn't know of yellow Gatorade back then, Dano. You
Yeah.
never left the field.
H2O's better. Need some high quality H2O. Foosball's the devil, Bobby. All right, so talked about the injury issues, injury reports, which might play into obviously our predictions for the game coming up, but we'll kind of go over the recap for the NFC North. I have to do some discussion offline to kind of figure out where we're at with our picks because I lost my sheet. But the Packers, if I recall correctly, they
You're not
tied
cheating me, are you?
the Giants, or sorry, the Cowboys.
They played the Cowboys.
Yeah, they tied the Cowboys.
I know, I
Yeah, they
saw
ended up in
that.
a
Yeah.
tie.
They made sure they tied.
I said Cowboys were going to win, too. That's terrible.
I said the Packers were going to win.
We both get a point, Dano. We were both right.
Well, at least they didn't win, right?
Yep.
Well, I was just gonna say the Packers, they tied 40-40. So the Bears, who did they play?
Can't remember, but the Bears won, I believe. So I was wrong there. I can't remember who I said, or did I say the
Trying to think of who.
They beat the Raiders 25-14,
Oh, wow.
like an autumn wind.
I think I said
Lost
the
emphasis
Raiders
Raiders.
were going to beat them. So I was wrong there. I think I was 1 out of 3.
That's not good. Tastes like chicken.
Here we go with the chicken run.
And then the Lions, they beat the Browns 34-10.
I think
Yep.
Well, like I said, 1-4 didn't do well this week, and the Vikings wasn't even close to what I said their score would be.
yeah, I don't remember what mine was, honestly.
I said 21.
Mine was a little bit lower. I want to say
I think
mine
I said-
wasn't.
Did I say the Vikings will win like 20-17 or 20-14 or something like that? I think I
Yeah.
had a lower score, but I can't remember. I think it was
Yeah.
something like that.
I think I don't know what I had on mine.
We would have to
Because of
recap
flip-flop.
from last week.
I'll watch last week's podcast to figure out what we all picked and where we're at for the points.
One of our fans probably know. They just gotta let us know.
The-
They gotta keep us on top of the game here.
Yeah, put in the comment below.
Yeah. Put in the comments
I mean,
below.
I think we have 3 or 4 subscribers.
Well, one of them might have watched the whole thing and caught that one part through our shenanigans.
Wow, talk about subscribers. I got a total of 4 on my music channel.
That's only because the one you didn't even wear a T-shirt. But that's a lot of women that just like that. I see what kind of how you working the angle here, Dano.
Well, like I text you guys, be tickled if I had as many viewers as my 2 songs I posted.
No, they turned out good.
Should we do our
Is everybody playing?
predictions for next week for the NFC North?
We certainly.
Or do you want to? Are you going to do a little plug there, Dad?
What do you mean plug?
Well, you were talking about your music. Are you going to talk about your
No, I would just,
He ought to
what's
sing a
what's
little.
your channel name? What's the channel name? And Tom wants you to sing part of the song for us.
Yeah.
channel name is Daniel J. Krieger, and parentheses music, and I'll sing the chorus of the one that I think is cute. Not me, not me, not me. Whenever you might remember this, John, but when the kids were real little, all the kids,
Yep.
whenever they got into something, well, who did this? Not me.
Yep.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And I always go, geez, do I have a grandchild named Not Me? So I wrote a song on that.
I think a little bit of that came from Grandpa Dan.
Not me was so quick you could never catch him.
Who did that? Not me. It wasn't me.
Wow, that's just like Johnny and Erica hit each other. I see out of the corner of my eye, they're hitting each other. So just for shits and grins, I go, all right, who hit who first? Not me. I go, bugger's awful fast. You'll have to listen to it. I think it's kind of cute.
So what we want to go with first on the game? So basically,
Don't matter.
it's-
You pick. I think the Packers are on a bye.
Yeah. So is Chicago playing the Bengals?
Boy, I think.
Boy,
Yeah, the Lions are gonna
But you
win.
don't know, but yet you don't know. Strangest
Lions.
things has happened, But yeah, Lions beat the Bengals, and I think the Vikings will win over the Browns, and I think it'll be like 24-17 Vikings.
Well, we still got to get Joe's prediction and John's prediction on the Lions.
Right, dude. Detroit will beat the Bengals, even though they stomped the crap out of us. So I think Detroit will beat them.
Wait a minute, edit that out, Joe.
And then let's see, Minnesota. If you're playing a rookie, sometimes when you're playing the rookie quarterbacks, they sneak up on you.
Yeah, they can one up you. They're gonna do her.
Well, we got to go with the Vikings don't lose in London. So let's call this one 21-17 Browns. For the Browns are 17-21 for Minnesota. Minnesota takes it, of course. Hopefully they don't let me down again.
Well, it's got to be positive. Don't got it, but
Positive, but I like to think as positive as I can. But Sunday, I had to work Sunday night, so I was trying to sleep in Sunday morning. I figured I'd go watch the game on NFL Plus after. Well, I woke up early, laying there in bed. I'm like, I got to try to fall asleep, so I didn't want to turn the TV on. Finally, I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to turn the TV on. I'm going to turn the game on. And my very first image was Rodgers in the huddle. He walked up to that line. He threw that ball to Metcalf, and he went down that field 80 yards. And I said, oh, hell no, there's no way my Sundays turned out like this. That's what I saw when I first turned it on. They were in the huddle and threw that damn ball. No way.
Yeah, no,
It
was
is
a
what
rough
it
start.
is. Any given Sunday.
Yep.
Well, before we go on and like pick the rest of the scores, what kind of you talked about like the Browns are going to be starting the quarterback. What's his name? Browns.
Brown.
Gabe
he said
something or other.
Rookie.
Gabriel.
Gabriel.
Dylan
And
Graves.
so that's kind of questionable. So Joe Flacco was the start. So they're I guess they're benching him, and instead of playing Shadir Sanders, they're playing this Dylan Gabriel ahead of him.
Yeah.
And it sounds like Shadir Sanders didn't take it very well, it sounds like. But of course, the headline I found that said that, or kind of gave me a little, maybe this one will be different, but I want to see exactly what he said.
Yeah, because he stunned reporters with it.
Yeah, so like he just kind of gave like a canned answer, but he had a weird smile, like a shit-eating grin on his face. Like, so like one of those things where like the words don't match the body language or the person's expression. So, but yeah, so they're starting the quarterback. They have a few injuries. Their guard, defensive tackle, the guard Joel Bitonio was limited. Lee Collins was limited in practice. Jack Conklin, safety Grant Delpit, back limited. Myles Garrett, the big defensive end, their kind of star player, did not practice, but I'm assuming that we'll have to wait till Friday, but I'm assuming he's going to play. Mike Hall Jr., defensive tackle, knee limited participation. Cornelius Lucas, a tackle, had a rest day, and David Njoku, the tight end, was limited in practice. So they they only did not practice with DMP was Myles Garrett. Kind of thought that's the injury report. That's a bit of the preview.
Miles is going to be the one that we got to worry about.
When hopefully they kind of figure out that, hey, we got to do some quick plays. We run some slants, run some crosses, run some short ins, short outs. They've shown they can't run the running back screen, though. That's one thing they can't run. I don't know how many yards they've gained on running back screens this year, but it hasn't been many. Although I guess Xavier Scott could have gained a lot more if he wasn't tripped up. So on the one that he had. Well, they are in London. The Vikings, before they lost to the Steelers, were undefeated overseas or over in Europe. So I think, are they 4-1 now?
So,
I don't know. I can't remember.
It's close enough for government work. So we already got a 21-17 Vikings victory from John. Who else wants to throw out a score?
I said 24-17 Vikings.
I don't know, 24 Vikings. I don't know, about 14 Browns. We'll see. I was way off last week. But a couple of them.
I'm going 17-6 Vikings.
17-6. Nice. That's not a bad pick either. I was wanting to go high, mid, low, and you got it covered.
Yeah, I just hope the Vikings will be able to control the game, kind of like how they did with the Bengals, where they're not having to come back late in the game. It's not going to work every week. You're not going to be like, last year they came back in quite a few games. It's not a recipe for success. So hopefully they can control the game. With the rookie quarterback, I don't see them scoring too many points.
They might.
Again, Wentz and the line and with Browns defense, that's why I kind of went with the lower score, 17-6.
True.
And now if the Vikings lose this game, I'm giving them one game after the bye week. I mean, we just got to see something where they have an identity, and that we just don't know what their identity is. Other than at this point, they're hate to say this early in the season, but that's just
got to quit dumping the run game when it's working.
Or quit running the runs that aren't working, like that toss play. I think teams have figured it out. And is Aaron Jones out for the season? I can't remember.
No,
I don't know.
He's on that 4-week IR, I think.
So he could come back.
Yeah.
I mean, he'd be good if Jordan Mason would, be the starting running back, and then, Jones would be the change of pace. I think that'd be a perfect recipe. They, both when they did try having them in the backfield at the same time, or in the game at the same time in previous weeks. So, but again, it just takes another, receiver or tight end off the field if they do that.
Well, right now, I think they need, for sure, Oliver in there to help block. Yeah.
Well, that's just it. The sixth offensive lineman. The Steelers had an extra offensive lineman a lot of the game. And then they had that 270-pound tight end.
Yeah.
So they pretty much had like a 7-man line.
Yep.
At points. But again, like CJ Ham was able to, full practice today. I don't know how many days from once you join the roster and start practicing to before you're actually able to play in a game. But I mean, if you want to run the ball, he'll be a lot of help doing that. He's got a little bit of versatility where he can catch balls out of the backfield too. So,
well, I think CJ is in that 21-day window. Oh, for evaluation, I guess, is how they put it.
Yeah, he'll probably be after the bye week when he's in the game or is able to play.
Yeah.
This is going to be one of the shorter ones that we've had.
Yeah.
We're just not excited talking about it. It's just nothing to praise.
No, I don't think we are. I was going to say, Dano, I'm surprised you don't have any, breakout tunes for us. The upcoming game in London. I see London. I see France. I see the Browns underpants. Something. It's nothing.
That's a good one, Tom. You had to write a right one.
It was just a punny. I'm not going to go into it professionally, but
So we should be doing a win, right? Because we're going win, loss.
Well, and plus it's like lucky number 14, right? So it's not the third.
Yeah, I blame 13 and the lucky Irish on that. The last one, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was just a fluke when the Browns beat the Packers. I think the Packers were a little high on themselves, and then the
Come out of
Browns
a
kind
big win,
brought them down a bit.
Well, what I heard, the Packers got injuries now too. So
The rough season. I mean,
Well, I think
obviously,
real
that turf over there in Ireland wasn't very good. Those guys slipping all over hell.
yeah.
He said they were going to make sure that they had the proper footwear, but I don't know what they got them, leprechaun shoes or what.
I don't know.
2 touchdowns that should have been. Jefferson should have had a touchdown on that one where he slipped, and Jordan
Yeah.
Addison. I mean, I guess we didn't talk about the bright spots. They were 2 bright spots. They both went over 100 yards. But again, they both should have scored touchdowns, and the turf monster got them. It's still slipping around like that, so they must not have came with the right equipment.
And I was going to bring up about Scott, ask you guys, what did you think about his touchdown catch in the end zone? Like a true receiver, toes in.
oh yeah.
I think Scott's going to be pretty, he's going to prove himself over these next couple of years. So it's definitely a good find.
Well, he played receiver.
Yeah.
He just doesn't have that breakaway speed. I mean, he's fast enough, but and that's another thing. And when the Vikings missed quite a few. So again, I'd hate to rehash it, and we already went through the game, but I'm just kind of going back through the thoughts from the game as we kind of close out. But just some of the things I noticed.
Yeah. Well, anyways, it's kind of, I don't want to go on a rampage about, how the Vikings played and all that. It just looked like horse crap. It just, I don't know. They got to carry on. If they're doing good in practices, they got to take it to the field and, whatever. So,
Yeah. He's get the play calling down, a little better. He used to be able to adjust on the fly pretty well, but it seems like we're having difficulty. We'll see.
It seemed like some of the defensive coordinators are onto him, and some of the offensive coordinators are kind of onto Flores a little bit this year. So hopefully in the bye week, they might not be able to do too much now, but hopefully during the bye week, they'll be able to do a little self-scouting and kind of figure some things out. Well, everybody else.
Yeah, with the players we have, because that's what it comes down to is, look at Hitman was up in the game. He was very effective, but we've had a lot of time without him this year already.
Yeah, but I don't think he's still playing a whole game. He's going in and out,
Oh, and I guess this is going to be his final year. He's going to retire after this year. That definitely one of our players that deserved a ring. No matter what, he would have been able to, for what he's given to the game and how he's performed in the game. He definitely deserved the big ring.
But they're going to come out of the next week with a win, or this week with a win. So it'll be a good feeling going into the bye week, and then coming out of the bye week, we can kind of talk about it when we get to it closer. But it's kind of a gauntlet the next 4 or 5 games coming out of the bye. So it's kind of a need. They need to win this game.
Yeah. Need every one we can get now.
Anything else before we close out?
No, I think we pretty got it all wrapped up.
This is their turning point for us.
Yeah.
Well, if you like what we see, hit the thumbs up. Enter some comments in. Just let us know what you think so we can try to do better or to improve as we go along. If you want to join us for an episode, you can email us at skolchatwithskoda@gmail.com. It will be in the description below. But with that, Skol Vikings.
Skol.
Go.
Let's win the game. I'll throw my shoulder out.
I already did.
All right, we'll see you next time.
Take care.